Okay, so this time we're doing a review for an anime called Goblin Slayer. It's weird. This season we got Goblin Slayer, which is goblins and essentially just they're horrible little fuckers. And then you have Slime. Slime-chan is what I call it. That's not the name. I just call it Slime-chan. I was reincarnated as a slime, which I will do a review of. Where it's like they're nice goblins. We like them. Goblin Slayer is the complete opposite. So basically, Goblin Slayer is exactly what the name suggests. There is a guy who slays goblins. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I was closing out the thing. So yeah, it's essentially a show about a guy who slays goblins, and his daily life as he goes on his adventure and that kind of stuff. I will let you know right now, Goblin Slayer is dark. There is gore. There is rape. From the very first episode, they show you that. A little message pops up the second you start that episode. By the way, it's on Crunchyroll. The second you start the episode, it says, your discretion is advised. And I'm just like, I'm seeing some horrible shit on anime. I'll be fine. Goes in, yeah, they show you, like, they don't show you, like, you don't see them actually doing it, but the girl's in a position that you know she's being raped. It's, like, there's stuff blocking, but you know what's going on. But these goblins, they're not as smart as people, but they're very adaptive. They learn very quickly. And essentially, yeah, from the first episode, you learn that they may not be the biggest threat out there. Like, there's the Demon Lord and, other higher, more powerful beings. But you don't see them. Like, you see them for, like, a split second, and then it's mainly goblin-focused. But the main character, Goblin Slayer, you don't learn his name. You see, like, that much of his face, but usually it's covered with a helmet. And, yeah, it's very dark. They let you know right off the bat it's gory. That if the goblins catch you, they will rip you apart. They will torture you. If you're female, they'll rape you. They only confirm it twice in the anime. In kind of passing that in the very last episode, they do it. Where he says, or the Goblin King is like thinking, and obviously it's confirmed that they do reproduce with humans and create more goblins, but they only say it twice, and it's kind of in passing, so you actually have to be paying attention to get that detail. But basically, our hero, whose name and face we do not see, like I said, when you do finally see his face, it's like that much. You never see like top half. Anyway, I think in one scene you see a very close up of his eye or something. But that's it. But basically, that's what he does. He slays goblins. His village was attacked. And basically, as you see in the first episode, he witnessed all of that. He witnessed people he knew getting torn apart and eaten and raped. And he becomes Goblin Slayer. And it's not what he calls himself. It's what others call him after he goes and kills people. Or, I'm sorry, he goes and kills goblins. He doesn't kill people. Wait, he does kill one lady. But Jill's already dying. Like, there's no way that... It's the very first episode, so I'm not spoiling anything. She's dying. She can't be saved, and he kills her. Like, she's already dying. She's suffering. He just kind of puts her out of misery quicker. And they show you repeatedly. Like, they just show you that one rape scene. But, in the first episode. But you do see a lot of women. They do show repeatedly women, who are naked. They have scratches on. Their eyes are glossed over. Like, they've given up. They've just given up. And it's very dark. I mean, yes, they're not the most powerful beings, but that's what the entire show is. That doesn't matter. That they're not as smart as humans. They're considered small fry. They don't send out the army because, like, why? They're small fry. We had to deal with the, Demon King and Berber, his more powerful minions. We don't have time for goblins. This is essentially what's going on. In Goblin Slayer, as a way of revenge. Like, it doesn't really feel like a revenge at the same time. Like, it just feels like he just kind of started doing it. Like, maybe at one point it was to get revenge, and it kept going, but it doesn't feel as, like, it doesn't feel revengey. It's kind of hard to explain. But, he doesn't care how much he's paid, or if he's even paid at all, really. He just goes kill goblins immediately. That's what he's known for. That's what people call him, because that's all he kills is goblins. He won't take any other requests in the guild. He's in the Adventurers Guild, by the way. He'll only take goblin-related stuff. And, character-wise, I like him as a main character. He's not very talkative. You do see a little bit of his past. Like obviously I just explained it. You do see some flashbacks of his past. And, like, he was a normal kid, it looked like at one point. Like, he was a normal, kind of mischievous boy. Like, you see one little fight with him and his childhood friend, who is in the show. And, after what happened, it was obviously changed a bit. And, he's considered a weirdo. And, that no one really takes him seriously. He's a weirdo. They're kind of creeped out by him. He only kills goblins. They don't understand why. He just waits on small fry. So they consider him like a small fry ranger, essentially. Like, you know, he's Goblin Slayer. He just slays goblins. Like, that's pretty much it. But, it's him slaying goblins, and whenever you see goblins on screen, like, you feel the he's not, like, in a lot of characters, when they go and they become the hero, you know, they either get really cocky, or they're, I didn't want to fight me. With this is, he knows he's weak. He knows he's a solo adventurer, that he has to, no, nay. Anytime I move, she bolts to the door. It drives me nuts. That was her doing it, me stopping her, obviously. But, God damn, where was I? Yeah. But they're really reluctant, and they literally had to be forced into it, or they just, I'm gonna save the world and give me revenge of me. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen enough anime. Like, I know that's a cocky statement. Oh, if you've seen enough anime, you'll get it. Like, no. If you've seen enough anime, you'll see a pattern emerge, and you'll be like, yeah, I know what trope you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, like, that's basically just what I mean. I'm not trying to be an ass, though I do it well. But yeah, he just kind of starts slaying them, and he's aware he's weak. He's aware that he needs to take these goblins seriously, because he's seen the horrors of what they can do. And, but he's not, like, you think he's gonna be revenge-oriented, and to some extent he is, but then there are scenes where you kind of question, like, when you think revenge, you think of someone obsessed, they're not thinking, they're going off on a killing spree, they're losing their mind, where he's very thoughtful. He's always thinking of strategies. Where people just go around and hack things up, he's like, okay, how can I whittle down their numbers? What spells do we have? What items do I have? How is my equipment? Do they have a shaman? Do they have a hob? How many are there? Did I kill them all? He'll count them as he kills them. Like, he's very thorough. He takes them seriously. This is an extermination. He takes it very, very seriously. Anytime he kills, you'll hear him count. Like, oh, that's one. Oh, that's two. And I was wondering, why the fuck did he do that? Like, you think, like, oh, maybe it's bounty. No, it's not a bounty thing. It's more like, he knows how many, like, he knows a lot about goblins. He's always learning more. Like, throughout the show, he'll learn about things, so he can use them to kill goblins. Like, you'll see that later on in an episode, what he does. He finds out a bit of information that has nothing to do with killing. And he's like, okay. And he applies into killing goblins later on. Actually, it's not a goblin he kills later on, it's something else. He was on his way to kill goblins, and something else happened to be in there. And he was just like, oh, I gotta kill you first. So he'll kill 2 non-goblins in the series. And then the rest is always goblins. So it's like 1 person, 2 different creatures, and then the rest is goblins that he's killing. Yeah, but he's very quiet, he's very thoughtful, he's always learning more, and he takes his killing very seriously. He knows how weak he is. He knows he'll learn the topography. He'll count to make sure, like, let's say there was an average of 10 goblins in a nest, and he's like, okay, this is a big one. So let's This is maybe like 5 times bigger. Oh, maybe it's about 50, so he'll count. That's what I'm assuming. That's my idea of why he's counting. He also kill checks, which I appreciate. Because in shows like this, I'm like, kill check, kill check, kill check. And sure enough, you're not careful, they're not dead, they come and get you, you need to kill check. So it's very dark, he gets more companions, but he's not our typical hero. He doesn't ex machina get stronger, like he gets fucked up several times in the show, where he gets seriously injured. And he's very smart, but at the same time, he is reckless because he goes in alone. And then he finally gets some companions. This is going to happen. Like in the first episode, he rescues a chick. Like, she's the only one that survives. Her and 3 other adventurers. They're like beginners. Porcelain rank, I think, is the beginning. And they go in, and all of them end up dying. Oh, wait, no. One girl survives. But she's the one that's raped. And you see her again at the end of the episode, and she's not okay. You don't see her again. You clearly can tell from the facial expressions it took his toll. You see that the guy gets his arm ripped off. The girl, the other girl that he ends up killing later on, gets stabbed in the stomach. And then they're about to rape her, but they don't. He shows up in time. And the only one that ends up surviving is this blonde-haired girl. Oh, fuck. Did they ever say her name? I can't remember if they said her name. You know, she's blonde hair, blue eyes, priest chick. Even though later on there is another priest chick. You'll know she's always with Goblin Slayer. And then more people join, and then you got the elf chick, who's a ranger. Ironically enough, the oldest person in the group. Yet the person that looks the oldest in the group is not the oldest in the group, who's a dwarf. And then you have a lizard man. Lizard man. Sorry. I don't know why I'm pluralizing. It was lizard man. And they kind of have this little ragtag adventurers group, and essentially what they are is they represent... Or what was it? I guess goblins were getting too close to where settlements were. So all the, the king of man, the king of lizardmen, they're setting up a meeting, and they're their representatives, and they still need a human, so they get Goblin Slayer. And yeah, they just, no one really understands him because he's not very good at communicating. Nay, me yelling at my dog. Sorry. Like you can tell he doesn't really know how to communicate. He's just kind of very blunt, and like, the more you see him, the more you're like, okay, I can understand how he's thinking to some extent. But sometimes he needs to be, like, you need someone to read what he's thinking. But yeah, once you get to a certain point in the show, you're like, okay, I can pretty much tell what he's thinking to some extent. He's very short-spoken. But yeah, this is an anime to take up lightly. That being said, it's got good music. There are some badass parts in this show. Oh, but there are some horrifying parts. Like, once you get to that first episode, like, that's the worst of it, to be perfectly honest. The very first episode is the worst of it. It shows you right away what you're in for. And you're like, okay. Alright, I know what to expect now. Jesus Christ. I knew what's happening. Okay. So, yeah, like, the first episode is the worst because it's what punches you in the face. You're just like, oh, I did not expect that dark. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's basically him going and doing quests to kill goblins, and there's another plot in the background. Yeah, there's shit going on in the background, but this is Goblin Slayer. It's about him. He's slaying goblins. And then you have this other story, which is, that the gods of, what was it? There's several gods they named it. It was like the gods of chaos and chance or something are rolling the dice, and it's causing chaos in the world. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, hopefully they'll explain in the second season. I just finished the show, like, literally just finished, turned on the phone to record. And it says Goblin Slayer will return soon, so obviously we're getting another season. But I wouldn't recommend this anime because it is so dark. Like, you need a very specific person for this anime. That being said, the music is good. I especially like the music in the last episode at the ending. It's probably my favorite. The art style is good. I do like the characters. They grow on you. They have their things, and some of them are too cocky, and some are too skittish, and some are, let's go kill things, yeah! But I actually really liked him as a protagonist, because I've gotten sick of the, person that needs to, literally be shoved into the role of the hero, which, no one wants to be a hero, come on. You either really want to be the hero, or you don't want to be the hero, that's basically what we're getting. But with Goblin Slayer, he actually feels like a real person. He had a normal upbringing, something horrible happened, it changed him, it affects what he does today, but despite the fact that he's kind of getting revenge by killing goblins, I guess, it doesn't feel revengey because, there's one point where the priest chick that he's always traveling with, I can't remember her name, where she says something, and he's, oh gosh, I don't remember what she says exactly, but, she says something, and he responds to her along the lines of, you're right, if you look hard enough, maybe there are good goblins, but I'm not gonna risk that. People act like he's insane, but he's surprisingly not, considering what happened to him. He's very methodical. He does kill goblin children. You do see that one episode when he goes back into that, I think it's the same cave or whatever that he first meets the girl. So within the first few episodes, I think. He goes in there, and she sees, and he finds a trap door, hidden in the wall or something, and there's goblin children. And he straight up kills them. And she's like, what, why? And she's like, and he basically says, he kind of tells this, well, basically he says it's kind of like a story, but kind of not. Hi, can you see me now? My TV went on standby. But he basically says that, a kind adventurer could spare these and walk off thinking they've done a good deed, but these same children that you ignored are going to learn from what you did and become stronger, more violent creatures later on. He's not underestimating them. He's not being some crazed killer. He knows for a fact you let this one go. Basically, the law of the world, in any world, in reality, our reality, is, look at it, if you believe in evolution, it's adapt or die. That's basically what it is. They're going to adapt, or they're going to die out. So what do? They become cruel. They learn from their mistakes of their brethren, and they get stronger, and yeah, maybe you spared them. I guess they're kids and they didn't do anything, but they're going to come back, and they're going to be even more dangerous than the parents that you killed, essentially. And, so yeah, he's, you see what I mean, where he's getting revenge by killing goblins. He knows that it's not really, maybe he's not making a dent, he's not changing anything, he's not this hero he wanted to be when he was a child. He knows there's something wrong, but at the same time, he accepts his weakness, but he's always trying to get stronger. He accepts that these goblins may not be the biggest, baddest creatures that are out there, but they are a threat. And he feels more like a person then. And even, you don't see his face, but the reason why makes sense. It's not some stupid arbitrary reason. It's goblins will do anything they can to survive, including, attacking you from behind. They like to ambush. They'll use dirty tricks. In one of the episodes, they put women on a shield and use them as shields so they won't get attacked by the adventurers. They'll do any trick in the book to live. And Goblin Slayer is very much aware of this. So he won't spare them. It doesn't matter if they're children, doesn't matter if they're goblin champions, if they're a shaman, an archer, a rider, it doesn't matter. He's gonna do what he can to kill them. And there are some really cool action sequences in this. So while I wouldn't say it's an anime for the faint heart, you need to be able to grit and bear for this show. But if you do, you might end up liking it. It is The characters are likable. They do have a little bit of downtime moments, and then they do have epic fights, and they do have parts where you can feel the dread mounting. Because you know, you've seen what happens. You've seen how dark it can get. And you're always wondering, oh fuck, what's he gonna run into this time? So I liked it. I'm going to be looking out for season 2. But like I said, it's a dark show. You need to grit and bear. Like, you don't just go into this as your first anime. Don't recommend this as someone's first anime. Like, you need to break people in slowly. This is not the anime to do that. But yeah, Goblin Slayer is a good anime. It's 13 episodes long. The last episode just came out today. They are going to do another season, I'm assuming, because obviously it says, yes, Goblin Slayer will return. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say about Goblin Slayer. Hopefully I explained it in a way to give you the ability to decide if you want to watch it or not. But it's on Crunchyroll. It's 13 episodes long. Like I said, from the first episode, you know exactly what you're in for. The second that, if your discretion is advised, take that seriously.